Guys, I am so sick right now. That is why my voice sounds the way it does. But I could not resist the opportunity to get up on here and share an update on Mandy and Maurice because they finally had their day in court. So as I previously reported, Mandy and Maurice were arrested on March 15th. And when I made my last video, the only details we had at the time was they were arrested for theft. And now we have details about additional charges that they're hit with. So Maurice was hit with grand theft of money, labor, or property. And in the state of California, for it to be considered grand theft, it has to be over $950. Then he got hit with one or more serious felony convictions and then an evading police officer with disregard to safety. So he ran from the police when they tried to arrest him. And then he got hit with one or more serious felony convictions. Mandy was charged with grand theft of money, labor, or property. So she stole over $950 worth of stuff. So Mandy and Maurice finally had their day in court yesterday morning, and I didn't really have high hopes for these two because Mandy, she had a $50,000 bond and Maurice had no bond at all, and we never see that happen with him. So they both had their day in court, and Mandy kind of got lucky. The judge was like, okay, I'm going to give you an OR bond, so as long as you sign on this paper that you'll come back for your court date, then I'll let you go until your court date. Judges will sometimes do that before looking into if you have warrants anywhere else or seeing if you're on probation or parole. And that's exactly what sounds like happened in this case. He granted her an OR bond. And then shortly after that, they found out that she is on probation. So from those last charges she got when her and Maurice were arrested for grand theft and stealing at Marshall, they settled that case in court in March of 2023, and the judge sentenced her to 12 months of probation starting on March 29th of 2023 and ordered her to not go back to the Marshalls that she was caught stealing from. But her probation would literally be ending in 9 days. When Mandy was arrested on March 15th, she was 2 weeks shy of completing her year-long probation. So she just would have waited 2 more weeks and committed these crimes. The judge would have likely gave her an OR bond like he did here, and she would have already been out. But now due to this probation hold, she's likely going to sit in jail until April 2nd. After her court date, they went ahead and transferred her from the holding jail she was at the past few days, and they transferred her to the county jail and put her in permanent housing until the next court date, which will be her preliminary hearing on April 2nd. And that's the same day that Maurice has his next court date. I did call the county jail, and she is still currently there. Maurice had his day in court as well, and he went in front of the judge, and initially he had no bond at all, and the judge ended up giving him a bond. He gave him a bond of $175,000. His next court date is on April 2nd, so unless he comes up with the money to bond out, then him and Mandy are likely both going to be in jail until their court dates. So Mandy, her friend Cash, some of you guys may remember her because a while back she exposed Mandy and claimed that Mandy and Maurice spent the night at her house and stole $1,000 that she had hidden somewhere that was supposed to be her rent money. And then they were beefing for the longest, and then they suddenly made up and they're buddy once again. Well, she was live the other day and people were questioning her and asking, hey, what happened to Mandy? Is your little bestie locked up? And she's like, you guys need to mind your own business. You know, she's out right now, so you guys don't even know what you're talking about, even though she's still currently behind bars, and the jail has confirmed that. But now people are realizing, no wonder she's taking up for Mandy, because she was just arrested for the same thing literally weeks ago. Just on March 2nd, she was arrested for receiving or concealing stolen property and organized retail theft. But like they say, birds of a feather flock together. And I could already tell that she was dealing with that kind of stuff because she's constantly posting what looks like stolen merchandise because it still literally has the security tags on them, trying to sell them on her stories all the time. And when I was doing my research for this video, I came across something I thought was interesting. A post of Mandy talking about how she doesn't scan half the stuff when she checks out at Walmart for self-checkout. And then one day she was flexing how much money she has in her Walmart account. It was like over $800. And that's probably from you going and returning half the stuff that you didn't scan in the self-checkout. And since when was $837 on a Walmart money card a flex? You know, her family probably already knows better than to give her gift cards on Christmas, because they probably know she's going to go run and turn around and sell that. I was concerned what happened to the child, because I wouldn't surprise me if they're riding around committing crimes with their child in the back seat. I mean, this child has already been subjected to so much. But apparently, the child was spending the night with one of her friends the night they were arrested. And this was confirmed by a few people who actually follow Amanda's daughter on TikTok. And I guess some girl that she posts TikToks with, she's tagged her on her account. A few people were able to look at that girl's account, and they saw that Mandy's daughter was over there the night they got arrested, and she was making TikToks with this girl. So I'm sure Mandy probably just had whoever she was with drop her off for the night or stay there just to hang out for a little bit. And now it's turned into 5 days. So I'm sure CPS has stepped up at this point to try to figure out what we're going to do with this child. So either a friend or a family member is hopefully going to step up for this kid. Otherwise, she might get put in state custody. I don't know. I could see Mandy's mom or even Cash stepping up as a temporary guardian to help out with her until they get out of jail. I don't know, though. I just hope she's in a safe place. Honestly, it's probably best she's away from her parents right now, because I just can't imagine having Mandy and Maurice as your parents, even though Maurice isn't technically her blood father, but she calls him daddy. She's going to grow up and think this kind of behavior is normal, having someone constantly nod it off and falling over everything and seeing people constantly steal from stores. I can't even imagine the kind of things that she has seen. But you know that Mandy and Maurice, they're probably withdrawing like crazy in jail right now. They probably got the sweats. They probably stink like hell. And, Mandy's probably really suffering because they don't got seasonings in jail. We know how much she loves her seasonings. But that is it for this video, guys. That's pretty much all the updates I have for now. But let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Check out my lashes and cosmetics at AccordingtoAmber.com. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.